Hey gang, it's not every day that I get to say highly anticipated amp, but today we are looking at a highly anticipated amp, look at this, the Dragon from Third Power. I'm gonna put this down now so I don't throw my back out. As you know, Joe Satriani, no introduction needed, and Sammy Hagar went on a huge tour, and Joe was looking for a new something out of an amplifier. And so that's where Third Power comes in. The Dragon is a collaboration between Joe Satriani and Delana from Third Power Amplification, and this is what we got, this 100-watt fire-breathing Dragon, which obviously that's where the name comes from. It is based on a 67 plexi. Tonality-wise, it's referencing my favorite Van Halen tone, Live Without a Net. I mean, that's just such an unbelievable tone. It's got all of that plexi goodness. I mean, there's so many adjectives you could add to that, but there's so much plexi goodness. And also, like, it's got a fat body. And now you've got that. That's what they were trying to pull into the Dragon, as well as some really innovative new features and a touch of that Joe Satriani thing, because you can't have a super biting amp and then go up past the 12th fret on the high E string and expect people to be excited about that for you, you know? And the Dragon has some tricks up its sleeve that takes care of that. To kick things off, let's take a look at the front panel, and I'm gonna put up all of these nice features here. I will talk more about them, but I want you to have everything there right up front. Do not be afraid. The front panel, at first glance, might seem a little daunting, but it's actually a really straightforward and really well thought out design and layout. For the opening song, I was running the 100-watt Dragon into a Fryette load box and then using one of my IRs so that I could write and come up with parts and stuff without the entire neighborhood hearing that stuff. For this playthrough demo though, I am going to let everyone know what's happening around here. So I have a live 412 over there mic'd up with a 57 and a 421. And yeah, we're running it. This is the opening song tone through the cab. A lovely all-around rock tone. Okay, let's walk through these controls, super streamlined. I love that the level and the master level are in white. Super easy to see. So this is, we'll call this the gain. For the most part, you could leave this control where it's at about 11 o'clock. And if you go super low gain, you may want to turn it up to like 1 o'clock, something like that. And then this is the actual preamp gain control right there. Big difference between the lower gain settings and the high gain settings. Now, let me show you this amazing looking foot switch. Really beautiful, beautiful foot switch, which comes with the amp. Here's the amp bypass, essentially. Now this gain plus, it's a pretty clever solution to the gain boost. When you have the gain plus, and that's activated here, you could do it from the front panel or you could assign it to the foot switch. It just turns, you hit gain plus, and the preamp goes to 10. So you could go from a cleaner crunch to full out lead with the push of a button. That's not all the gain the Dragon has. If you look over here, there's two switches for the preamp processing section. This affects the gain and the preamp. We were in plexi mode, and we could go to cascade mode. Other switch I love. It says 400 hertz bump. 400 hertz is sort of the chesty frequency. It's not quite an upper mid-range, it's not a low. It's sort of right in between mid-range and low mid-range, and it gives you a nice fattening to the sound. So if you're up high, it's going to fortify those notes. And in general, sometimes a plexi can feel a little scooped if you kind of gain it up. Even the brown sound, can be a little scooped, and that just levels that out and pushes it up a little bit. This is off. It adds just the right amount of thickness to fatten up those notes without getting in the way of your rhythm side. Over here is our bass middle treble, which is pretty self-explanatory. There's a little switch in between the middle and the treble knobs here that changes the tone stack. In the vintage setting, it's more like a Bassman or a 65 plexi early kind of tone stack. In the modern side, it goes to a later 68 plexi kind of thing. I'll show you that difference. Both have tons of cool tones in there. The modern feels like it's a little more forward, a little more lifted. The vintage is a little more set back. That's totally a personal preference thing. Now as we keep going over it, you hit the presence knob. So it looks complicated there, but it's not. It's actually a presence knob on steroids. Here's your presence. Great, you're totally good. Now you've got this little corner frequency selector. This is so fantastic. This allows you to change the frequencies of the highs that are being affected. So no matter what cab you plug into, you can make those adjustments on the fly. It's so great. Low frequency push, you might have seen something like that, like a depth or resonance. That's kind of what this guy is doing over here. Now it's shaking the floor, and since the guitar is a mid-range instrument, some of that might not get picked up in the mics. It's more of a mid-range forward thing, but it sure feels good when you're standing next to that. Careful not to overwhelm your speakers. So just over there is like a nice fattening effect, and then you could work between that and the bass, dial in just the right amount of bottom end. Focus mode changes the mid-range content of your tone. At precision / soloist, that's the most mid-forward. And at vintage rock, that's the most sort of relaxed. That's pretty dramatic, so you'll probably have to adjust your knobs when you switch. Everything sort of relaxed when we went to that rock mode. So I'm going to counteract that by going over to the modern tone stack, which will give me a little more mid-forward and bite. HM bypass boost is your volume boost for your solos. And again, this is handily on your foot switch. So what that does is bypass and give you the exact amount you want boosted over here. So if I turn it all the way down, no difference, right? Oh, you can see it light up. They got the nice little circle lights. I give it a little bit. I think I just clipped everything. That sucker gets going. Almost had that. Oh, balance of foot pedal on your knee and play. The last switch on this foot pedal is your effects loop, switchable effects loop, of course. Now what's really nice, if you go foot switch assign, I just turned them up, you're assigning these switches to this switch also. So that's great, no tap dance for your solo. You want a solo with some delay and you want to go to full gain? Boom, look at that, watch. Oh, look at that. Look at the lights dancing, how I love a light. Oh, I love that, so cool. Here is another really clever feature of the foot switch. Remember I mentioned this on-off mute thing? You know, so if you're live, you're like, you just cut off your sound. It's put in a place where it lets the effects continue through, which is really lovely. I've got a delay in the effects loop here. But I can make these stops really tight. All right, so it muted it down, but it kept the little echo trails going. I thought that was really cool. So that is the Dragon from Third Power, the collaboration with Joe Satriani. It is hand-wired, point-to-point, made in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, what's not to love about this? So much awesomeness all wrapped into a 100-watt package. And if 100 watt is too much for you, it is coming in 45 and 25-watt packages as well. Thank you for watching. If you like that song in the opening, follow some links below. I'll have that on some streaming platforms. You could get tabs for that also, and links. You know what links do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.